In this video, I'm going to show you how to get any woman to think about you constantly. You might be wondering, why is it so important to have her thinking about me? The answer is simple. My friend, when she isn't thinking about you, she isn't developing any feelings for you. If you lay everything out on the table during your first date, there's nothing left for her to be curious about, and that's when she starts to get bored and lose interest. Before we dive into the main point, let me set the record straight. This isn't about playing games or using tricks. If that's what you're looking for, this video isn't for you. What I'm sharing is based on understanding how women naturally respond and what really works to keep their interest alive over the long term. This isn't some gimmick. It's about learning their nature and using that knowledge to stand out. Trust me, I've been through the trial and error, and I've learned it the hard way. I'm here to help you skip all the mistakes I made so you can see results faster. Here's the truth. I've tried the usual things, giving flowers, confessing my feelings, trying to be the perfect boyfriend, and guess what? None of it worked. Those things don't build attraction, they just push her away. If you don't understand how this really works, you'll find dating much harder than it needs to be. You'll watch the woman you want lose interest and end up with someone else who gets it. If you're ready to leave that frustration behind and finally understand what actually works, you're in the right place. I'm going to give you a few key rules. If you follow them, you'll find that any woman can become genuinely captivated by you. However, I want to emphasize, use these insights with good intentions. This is not about manipulation. It's about creating real, meaningful attraction. Let's start with the foundation, chemistry. And no, chemistry doesn't mean pouring your heart out and sharing your deepest emotions right away. It's about creating an emotional connection, the kind that shows her you're the type of man she wants to be with. The secret here lies in how you spend your time together. When you're with her, keep the atmosphere light and fun. Make your presence known, but not in an overwhelming way. The key is to be someone who adds value to her day, someone who leaves a positive impact without demanding too much. That's when the attraction starts to grow. Now, once you're in that phase, spending time together and establishing that bond, this video will focus on how to make her think about you even more. This is where the real magic happens, where you leave a lasting impression that lingers in her mind. Pay close attention, because this is where you set yourself apart. Rule number 1, do not be predictable. Out of all the points I'll cover, this one is by far the most important. You have to create a sense of imbalance. It's not about playing games. It's about making sure she knows that, even though you're interested, she still has to put in some effort to keep your attention. Let me give you an example. If you're the one always texting her good morning or good night, pull back a little. Don't be the one to always start the conversation. See what happens when you give her some space. Does she start initiating contact? Does she step up? Another key move is to change the timing of your responses. Don't always respond immediately when she texts. Make her wait a little so when she does hear from you, she feels that anticipation and excitement. Trust me, when she sees your name pop up on her phone, she'll feel that rush. This creates a natural dynamic where she knows she has to work a little to keep you engaged. Rule number 2, you have to become mysterious. Let her wonder what you're up to. This is an important part of creating attraction. Don't feel the need to share every moment of your day on social media. We all know people who post every detail, where they're eating, who they're with, what time they're at happy hour. Instead, let your social media presence be more selective. Post less, but let the things you do have more meaning. Part of being mysterious is also about the art of temporarily disappearing. I'm not saying you should vanish for days on end, but take breaks. Let her wonder where you are and what you're doing. It builds curiosity, and that's powerful. For instance, imagine this. It takes you a full day to reply to her morning text. Then in the evening, you finally message her saying, "I've had such a busy day. I hope yours was great. I'm heading to bed now as it's been a long day. I'll talk to you soon. Good night." This message sends a clear signal. You have a life, and you're not desperate for her attention. In fact, this subtle move makes you more attractive because women genuinely appreciate stability. They don't want a man who seems unstable or overly available. When you show that you're living a full life outside of her, it creates respect and heightens her interest. Rule number 3. These rules aren't something you do just a couple of times or once in a while. They need to be part of your routine, something you consistently apply. The key is to integrate these rules into your behavior all the time. If you're unsure how to attract a woman, need more help, or have specific questions, I offer one-on-one coaching, and I also have a Patreon for more personalized advice. Both links are in the description below. Some dating coaches might suggest using these rules for just a week or two or even a few days. But let's be real here. No matter how attractive a woman is or how many options she has, these rules are going to intrigue her. It's not about playing games. It's about showing her who you are. The real secret is in being consistent and unpredictable, popping in and out on your terms because you're the one with a full, busy life. Disappear for a few days, and when you re-engage, she'll start to wonder what you've been up to. She might ask herself, what's he really doing? Does he have another girl? Or what's so important that he hasn't made time for me? This type of behavior sets you apart from most of the other men she encounters. It's not about trickery. It's about demonstrating that your life is full of other interests, that you have a world beyond her, and that's something she'll find incredibly attractive. During this time, the goal is to be less predictable. That unpredictability will only increase her attraction to you. She may even reach out asking, when am I going to see you again? And that's exactly where you want her to be. Rule number 4, make plans after being busy. Let me clarify exactly what I mean. During your interactions with her, the goal is to pop in occasionally, but be less responsive. Don't feel the need to reply to her texts immediately, or at all, sometimes. Let her know that you're busy with other things, work, personal projects, whatever it may be. This creates space, and space is powerful. Here's the key. After being less available, when you do start chatting with her again, explain that you've been busy, but shift the conversation to focus on her. Ask what she's been up to. Keep it light and avoid making it all about you. Be a little elusive in your responses. Don't reveal everything about your day or plans. That adds an element of mystery, and mystery is magnetic. Once you've built that space and mystery, plan something with her, but don't rush it. Let some time pass before setting the next date. Why? Because that waiting period will heighten her anticipation and excitement to see you again. For example, you might say something like, hey, I'm tied up for the next couple of days, but I'm free Friday night. How about we grab a drink around 7? I encourage all my clients to adopt this approach. You don't want to become just another text buddy, constantly available and always replying. Keep your messages short, simple, and to the point. Close-ended, whenever possible. By being less available, you give her the time she needs to miss you and desire to reconnect. This is how you stay on her mind and create deeper attraction. Remember, the time you spend apart is just as important as the time you spend together.